Welcome to I Testify Online. This is Ivan Parrish. We have with us today one of the heavyweights in the Christian music industry, Mark Schultz. In 2006, he had a CD release entitled Broken and Beautiful. For that performance, he's been nominated for a GMA Dove Award. He joins us today via telephone to tell us all about that and what's going on in his life. So stay with us. I think this is going to be great. Before we begin our program, we would like to take just a moment to direct your attention to our Ministry Links page. I Testify Online has created a massive index of some of the world's most powerful and influential ministries for Christ. In this directory, you will find written articles, video sermons, and audio sermons from some of the most enlightened teachers of our time. One of the greatest things that has come from the World Wide Web is that the gospel of Jesus Christ is preached throughout the entire world 24/7. So visit our Ministry Links page, bookmark it, add it to your favorites in your files. You may even wish to visit it daily. It is our prayer that our Ministry Links page serves as a source of inspiration and enlightenment in your daily walk with the Lord. We hope you enjoy the program you're about to hear. Welcome, Mark, to I Testify Online. It's a privilege to have you with us today.
Thanks for having me on.
Mark, I read somewhere that you grew up in Colby, Kansas.
Yeah.
Somewhere along the lines, you became interested in music and was naturally inclined in music. What caused you to become interested in music?
I grew up in a small town, maybe 5,000 people town, and I always joke, I was adopted when I was 2 weeks old, and I always say it's the hardest 2 weeks of my life with paperwork.
Right.
But I got the best parents in the whole world, and so I'm guessing I had some kind of sick genes there from my biological parents, because it sure didn't happen in my regular family. And I just always picked up I didn't pick it up, but there was a piano in our house, and I would watch commercials on TV, and then I would just walk over there and I would sit down and play the piano, and that's how I learned how to play by ear and play on the black keys. And I say, because there's less of them, they stick up. So that's the ones I hung out on. I still do that. I don't read music. I still play by ear and just write all my songs by ear. So that's I've always had that bug of wanting to sit down and play something on the piano. And so for me, that's just kind of how it started.
Now, as you were a kid growing up, were you always into music, like being a member of the high school band?
Yeah, I was in the marching band. I played the baritone. I started out playing the trumpet, but the director told me my lips were wrong for the trumpet. I think he was just trying to say in a nice way that I was horrible. But then, because of a small school that I went to, I still played I sang in the choir, played in the band. I was the quarterback on the football team.
Oh, really?
Played basketball, baseball, track, and so I did all the sports as well. So real well-rounded as growing up.
Now, Mark, as you developed this passion for music, when did it occur to you to use it as a ministry for Christ?
Wasn't until I graduated from Kansas State in '94 with a marketing degree, and I went to Nashville. And I knew I wanted to do music, but I wasn't focused in on what type of music I wanted to do. I always attended church my whole life, but I'd never heard a Christian song until my senior year in college.
Right.
And it was interesting to me. And then I went to Nashville and met a youth minister there when I was a waiter, and kind of took me under his wing and said, hey, why don't you just come hang out with me and hang out at the church. And really, that was Mark DeVries, a guy named Mark DeVries, and I was the youth director at the church, and I really realized how I could use my music as a powerful tool to talk about what God was doing in the lives of the kids and the families, and then it just all sort of fell into place, like there was a bigger purpose for my songs rather than just singing to make a nice song. I was singing to make a nice song that would change lives.
Exactly.
And so to me, that all of a sudden, it was all of a
Right.
sudden it just kind of popped out and said, this is what you're meant to do.
At that First Presbyterian Church in Nashville, Tennessee, you were the youth director there. This probably goes without saying, but enlighten us as to what a youth director at the First Presbyterian Church in Nashville, Tennessee does.
It's just somebody who leads the Bible studies, goes to all the football, basketball games, and hangs out with the kids in any capacity. And just kind of, the thing is, with the kids that were coming to the youth group, just know that we're just crazy about them, and that God had a huge plan for them. And so we're just involved in not only the mountaintop experiences, the mission trips, but just the day-to-day ins and outs, Bible studies.
Right. Mark, did this congregation there at the church you were serving act as a base of support as your career was budding in its early stages?
Yeah, well, I always had the support from friends and family back home, but this is the first time that I really had it was quite an application that I could use my songs to. For example, if we went on a mission trip, Mark DeVries, our youth minister, would say, hey, why don't you write a song about what happened on the mission trip, what all experiences you had. And then I would teach it to the kids, and the kids would sing it on Sunday morning, So I played the piano, and they would sing. And all of a sudden, we just saw the church rally around those songs because instead of, raising support and sending kids off to a mission trip that they never heard about again, these kids were coming back and in essence, sharing with the church what the mission trip was through song,
Yeah.
And those people would have that song to listen to over and over and over again. So the support for the missions just went through the roof because
Amazing.
everybody felt like they were part of it.
Tell us about your big break when the music industry finally opened its arms to Mark Schultz.
I think it was after I'd had several songs. There was a senior class of 1998, I think, and they were going off to college, and one of the dads said, "Hey, how much would it be to record 2 or 3 of your songs and package them up and then send it to the kids in college as kind of a way to say, hey, we're still thinking about you here at home." Well, one guy in our church was the president of MCA Publishing, and I had asked him about it. He said, "You know what? I'll just let you come down and record for free. Just
Wow.
Pay for the players." And so he let me use the studio, and we went down and did that and put a little package together, a CD together for these seniors, and it was all their theme songs for the year that they were seniors, and so we sent it off to college to them to help cheer them on, and that was a big hit with everybody. And then we did a homecoming concert for them and recorded it live, and that became a CD. And people said, "Hey, you ought to do a show at the Ryman Auditorium, the Grand Ole Opry." And I said, "Okay," and they were joking, and I didn't know it. So for the next 6 months, I went out and sold a ticket to any. It was really, I got in over my head and thought, if I don't sell this concert out, I'm going to be owing money to the Ryman for the rest of my life.
Right.
And it turned out that it was packed that night. There was about 2,500 people there.
Amazing.
And we put on a show, and the record company, actually, Word Records at the time, owned the Ryman. Gaylord Entertainment owned the Ryman, and so we didn't even invite them. They just heard about it and came down, and it was packed, and so they just stood in the back of the room, and they just thought, gosh, this guy doesn't have a record contract. He's a youth director, but 2,500 people are singing word for word every one of his songs. We've got to make a record.
And was that the first time that you had gotten the opportunity to perform at the Ryman on that legendary stage?
Sure enough, yeah. My dad and I, my mom and dad, when I first moved to town, they kind of gave me a tour. I gave them a tour of Nashville after I'd been here 6 months. And my dad stopped outside of the Ryman, put his arm around me, and said, "Is this where my son's going to perform someday?" And I said, "Dad, I'm probably not going to get to do that. You got to be really good, and it may not happen." It kind of broke my heart because I thought,
Right.
My dad's so excited for me, but I don't know that I'll ever get the chance to make that happen. And then 3-4 years later, here I was doing my own show at the Ryman, and it was sold out, and my mom and dad were on the front row on the balcony, and so that was a home run for me.